my name is Emma, and I'm a student at the University of Houston, and I will be interviewing Ryan Graham, the founder of the Ryan Riley Foundation today.
Hi, Emma. Thank you. Thank
We
you
are
for having
excited
me.
to have you.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good weather today in Houston,
really
so
good
I'm
weather
happy to be
today.
here.
It's the first day of spring.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would just like to start by asking you to share what inspired you to get involved with the nonprofit sector.
That's a good question. I was inspired. Ever since a little girl, obviously, I've always been like a game changer and someone that's innovative when they see solutions. So I think they call that when you're like a kid, like a leader. Like she's always, it used to come off between being a leader and being bossy.
Yeah.
And someone like, she's too bossy, but I always had a solution to a problem. And as I've gotten older, I did a lot of different things in my life. And I was like, something still is missing. Something that still is not there. And when I do nonprofit work, that's the thing that makes me feel the most fulfilled. So that's always exciting. And I just was like, why not make it a whole thing? Why not make it a business that you love? Because I feel like in life, we always seek opportunities to do something that doesn't really feel like work, but it's work. Yeah. And this is probably the only thing to me that does not feel like work, but is a lot of work, but it's so rewarding. Yeah. Every opportunity, every charity event, every benefit, and just every type of opportunity to grow, it always feels amazing. So
if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
You still work. It's just rewarding. Yes. Yeah, but I don't know why they say that. If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, because
I guess because it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like doing your passion. And yes, there's effort put in behind it, but it's not work. You know?
I don't know. I think I would say it's a lot of work. Because it's a lot of discipline. And just really falling in love with discipline, because it's still work. I think you're for sure gonna work. When people say you never work a day in life, now if you create a good system, you'll never work a day in your life. And a good system is where you really have the mechanics set up for it to run on its own. But as far as you doing what you love, it's still going to feel like work. It's just going to be something you enjoy doing.
Okay, so in your experience, what are the core qualities that make a nonprofit truly great, not just, good?
People. You have to have great people relationships. That's what makes a nonprofit great, because relationships are worth more than money. And in the nonprofit world, it's 85% relationships, whether someone is believing in you to execute a strategy, a plan, whether someone is giving you a grant for a proposed solution. They expect you to do what you're supposed to do, so that relationships and just really executing and having a good relationship with people. Everything we do is obviously for the people. We advocate for the Ryan Riley Foundation a lot for underserved communities. We also advocate a lot in the innovative sector, like whether that is healthcare, marketing, just different resources that's needed for the millennials that's coming into adults, and for those that have to have a sustainable future, because obviously there's a lot of things that change at times, but understanding people how they think, understanding expectations, and also understanding the status quo where you have to execute, and having to executing gives you a good reputation. And your representation and what you're known for is the most important, because once you're known for doing great things, other great people want to work with you, and it also makes some of those relationships where it's not as hard. At first, when you're trying to get grants, it's super hard if people don't know you. They don't know if you're this person that you say you're going to be, but once you start executing, I think it builds more trust in the community as well with funders, and then just adopts an overall great relationship. On how to work with people, whether that's your team, how to actually pick good team people, because it's very hard. Some people make resumes the whole time, and they could put out every different thing they want on a resume. We have ChatGPT now, which has totally changed the game. So it's just like, how do you get the right people? But being able to have discernment and always understand what people you want to work and grow with, that's going to be the best for your life, because that saves you a lot of time. It tells you who to work with, because you know where you're going. So if you have the right people, and they can see the mission, and they want to execute too, it's like the sky is the limit for you guys. But if you have somebody going to the right and you're going to the left, or vice versa, it's not going to work out. So just knowing how to work well with people and choose the people you work with is very important.
Okay. So what were some of the first steps you took whenever you were first starting your organization and also leading it?
Obviously getting it set up the right way. Many people be like, it's expensive to start a nonprofit, and It's not, but it's tedious.
Yeah.
And it gets to that point where it's like, okay, the tax exempt status. When people start a nonprofit, then they skip the tax exempt status. So for me, it was just knowing. I started when I was obviously quite younger. I started in 2014. And there was things I did not know about as far as like the IRS papers, how it should set up articles of, a corporation. And I could have done it myself, obviously, but, I could recognize where I need help and I'm not an expert. So some of the steps I took was I went to a professional that's all they do. And I actually paid them to start my nonprofit for me, do the paperwork right the first time. So that could just save me money and time. We got approved. We got our exempt status. I started registering with different states, and now we are a national nonprofit in more than 5 states. And I hope to expand that to all 50 states pretty soon. And we already do outreach in different countries. So what works in one state, I just try to adopt it, and I go back from the same startup process that I did in Detroit when we started it, which is, getting the right people.
Again, going back to
going right back to the roots, that solid foundation, seeing what's going on in that state. You don't want to come with Detroit problems to Houston problems, and maybe they're similar, but Houston may have a different pertinent problem that you'll focus on. But just basically where I don't know, I get help. I don't mind paying for help, the right help.
The good quality.
Yeah, which is why we have Emperor University. Emperor University actually does some of those same services to get people nonprofit startup, tell them where to go to get the grants, the grant writing list, and that actually saves them time. And I think to me, that's the best benefits of just saving time and money, and just, obviously you can do some of these things yourself, but just having a good mentor or just having a good platform, you could save years and just do it right the first time.
So with Emperor University, what are some of the features that can kind of help people?
That's a great question. So Emperor University is a recently designed online self-paced education course. And there's 3 different features. Actually, there's 4. You can book a discovery call with a professional. So if you have any questions, if you're still trying to think about grants, nonprofit sector, or you're just trying to elevate where you are in your job. Say you already work with a nonprofit and you want to really be taken more serious. You want to tell them, hey, I can bring in this amount of dollars. I have grant writing experience. This course is for you. We also have a grant writing list where you'll give us your state where you are, and we'll give you a list of grants that's available monthly. So you'll be able to not spend hours online looking for grants, and you'll already have them with the deadlines, what you'll need, and they'll already be applicable to what you qualify for. So you just go in with those templates, and you just apply for it, and you have a more 95% chance of actually succeeding, not only because you have a template, not only do we already make sure that you qualify, but you also know how to write a winning strategy. So that is why Emperor University is so great. I think it's so important to know how to write grants. I mean, it's different things. So you come from a wealthy family, and if you come from a wealthy family, most wealthy family people will tell you they don't like to use their own money. They still will go get loans and things like that from the bank because they already have the capital. They can, basically use it as collateral, but people that already have money, they'll give them more money. It's mainly the people that are looking to get a certain place in their life that doesn't necessarily qualify for traditional loans or things like that. How do you succeed with a huge business idea? How do you succeed with, I want to own a hospital, I want to own a healthcare facility, or I want to own an actual school or university? I go back to Booker T. Washington's story, which he wrote a documentary, a book. Anybody know Booker T. Washington? He wrote a book called Up From Slavery. And he was basically one of the first slaves when they abolished slavery to open up a university. His university is still a well-known HBCU today, but it was more so mindset with the way they gathered people. It was how they was able to make this great university that's still here today. And it was through a lot of grants. And I kind of set that up, no matter where you come from, whether you come from a wealthy family or you don't, these grants have even the playing field. So if you know how to write a good grant and you say that this is your strategy and this is what you propose, this money is free. So when you win in a grant, all you have to do is what you said you were going to do.
Follow through.
And most of these grants are from 3 years, from 5 years. So if you get a grant for $5 million or $10 million, you got that guaranteed. And that takes away all the overhead of how you're going to pay for this, because you have your budgets in there for your staff. You have your budgets in there for your rent. You have your fringe benefits, which is your health care or your insurance. So it takes away the entire stimulus. So it's like a job that you created for yourself, but with the guarantee. So that's the great thing I think about grants. And everything is on a grant, whether it's the Social Security system, the Medicaid, everything that people are fighting for right now with politics is over contracts, government contracts, which are grants. You know what I mean? So that is the major issue. So just to really be on that side of playing field, and a lot of people don't know how big that sector is or the grants. They hear government contracting, they hear grants, but people really I think they have questions about how to get into it. And obviously it does take some time to really learn how to actually execute a grant. And I won't sit here and lie. I probably got denied maybe 40, 45 grants before I actually started learning how to get approvals. And it was just because, one, I did not take a class. 2, I was winging it. 3, it was so much material. I was rushing. I didn't think, I was like, oh, maybe they don't really need this. No, if they say they need this attachment, they need that attachment, and you will get denied. So it was just, I was hard-headed, just being disciplined, understanding their instructions, the requirements. They need every single thing. And a lot of times you'll get rejected just because you missed something that they said that they needed. So they're looking for you to pay attention. They're looking for you to read. If they took 99 pages to write that grant and put that solicitation out there, they're expecting you to read all 99 pages. So you won't make mistakes and have those questions. So I think mainly following instructions is important when writing grants, and just knowing how to be able to see the vision. This is what they need. This is my solution. This is how my solution is going to be better than anybody's. And I think when I obviously did not quit, because I could have quit after and it might have been more than 45 grants. It could have been almost 100. To be honest, I was doing it for maybe a few years before I really got the hang of it. And I was like, this is something that needs to be taught, because
I feel like I just got a little Emperor University.
Free lesson. This is something that needs to be taught, because, I started taking classes after that, but I started going back after every grant that I did get denied. It was like, why did I get denied? And I said, oh, this makes sense. And then after that, it started clicking. Once it started clicking, oh, this is a good one. This one is, and then it changes the game. It just really changes the game. And then I'm just very passionate. I love writing grants. I love the whole process about it, because it's a gamble, you know what I mean? And it's actually kind of fun, because it's I'm very passionate about what I'm applying for. I'm putting it on paper. I have to be able to convey that to the peer people that's, grading it or reading it. But also I have an opportunity for you to pay me to do what I love, and for us to work together. And I'm all about people and partnerships. So check out Emperor University if you want to be about people and partnerships. Let us save you some time. Come on our website, book a discovery call. You don't have to just jump into it. Book a discovery call, because it is expensive, right? But it's an investment, and you get what you pay for. That's the biggest thing. You pay a one-time investment, and you're instantly a millionaire after that. I'm not going to say instantly, but it's coming into play within the next 3 to 9 months. So it's a good investment.
Words of wisdom right there.
Words of wisdom.
All right. So how do you ensure that your mission was both clear and actionable from the beginning?
I'm a big vision board person. I'm a Habakkuk 2:2, which is in the Bible. Write the vision down and make it plain. He may run that may read it. And that means basically when you write things down, it's something that happens where it's so cool. It will make you not. And I would say you don't have to be conscious on I wrote this down, I have to do it. But when you write it down, to me, it feels like the whole universe is in favor for you to achieve that. So even if you get distracted, it'll bring you back to what were you doing. And now I've gotten so good with writing things down that I carry notebooks around with me. I'm always writing it down, and it just keeps me on track. And I also have set milestones okay, this is how I know if I'm on track. By March, I should be here. By April, I should be here. By June, and if I ever see that it's not on that path, I do what I need to do to make sure that I stick to that goal.
it takes an invisible like idea or concept and puts it,
put it on paper. To me, it's not real unless you put it on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So, but once you put it on paper, that's a contract and a covenant with yourself and with, what I'm saying, with the universe. Like, these are the things that I'm asking you to give me so I can be fruitful in life. Because life can come with a whole bunch of different stuff. But this is what I'm asking you. Can you do this for me?
Yes.
And if you stay on track, I think hard work works. And that's why I would say it never feel like work, because it's going to feel like work, but hard work works. And that's the most rewarding thing, is just seeing a vision or having a vision, writing it down, and being able to see that vision come true. That makes the entire life worth everything. So, I want to be a millionaire. Well, tell me how much you need to make a day to be a millionaire. What business do you have driving that in? How many days? Like, I be needing the steps broken down into real actionable steps. And to me, if it's not that, then it's not real.
So what role does community feedback play in shaping the programs that you, or like services that you provide?
Well, community feedback is important because it allows you to see if this plan actually works for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. You could think you have a good idea, and unless these people are vouching for you, then and sometimes it is hard to please people. But you can, when it comes to services that are benefiting them, they don't mind telling you, hey, this could have worked out this way. Mm-hmm. Those surveys, those peer groups, this will work better, because everything we do is for the people. So you need to hear their feedback, and you need to make adjustments if needed, as well as seeing what can go on. Sometimes it could be an issue with your staff. Your staff can be rude with delivering some of these services or things, just to be really over, like I say, that representation of your name, of, what you do is important. So feedback allows you to see things, or if you didn't see things, it allows you a clear channel of what I can do to get better, to stay better, and to, prosper.
Right. So what are some of the most common mistakes that you see in new nonprofits?
Not being set up the right way. A lot of people just don't set their nonprofit up the right way. They don't set it up for growth. Not understanding the business side of nonprofit. It's a nonprofit, but to be successful, there's a business side of it. And again, that is, okay, so this is that, but we actually do need to generate some revenue, or we need to be super bomb with going after these grants and creating sustainable solutions. And just after this grant period is over, how do I keep this foundation going? How do I keep this program going? Because you don't want to keep starting over from scratch. You want to be able to have something you could build on. And I just say, not understanding that business side of nonprofits.
Not being sustainable. Really?
Yeah. It could really be detrimental to some people because it's costly. Nonprofit work is time consuming all around. And obviously it's not, the money is not like a for-profit business. So it's not generated necessarily every day unless you have a for-profit side of it. But it's meaningful work. And if you do it right, then you're set up right. But a lot of people don't really necessarily, they do it because they're passionate about it, but that don't mean they necessarily have a business sense about it.
Okay. How important is data and outcome tracking in nonprofit?
It's good. You need it. You need data and income tracking because you need to be able to pay attention to what's going on, make changes, make sure you meet your goals. And those are steps to help you stay aligned, as well as your partners, your funders, the people that you went into a grant partnership with. They need to be able to track that for their assessments as well. It allows you to continuously get better.
Yes.
We love getting better.
Growth is always important.
It's so important.
So when it comes to funding, what strategies have helped you build a sustainable financial model?
When it comes to funding, I've always been an entrepreneur since a kid, whether it was 3rd or 4th grade, whether it was selling pop candy on the corner, on the street. Just having a business sense of 1 + 1 = 2. And then having a, exponential sense, like 2 times 8. You know what I'm saying? 8 times 6, like really being able to know multiplication and just always like, okay, but the foundation was 1 + 1 = 2. So if you ever need to go back now, continue to build on that. And I think that just allows me to always be successful, because not only do I have, I think it's kind of a gift too. Like, I could really see what's going to be needed 10 years later on down the line, and just really being resilient, no matter what happens in life, not giving up, sticking to that vision
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what or what takes place in life, sticking to that vision, it's going to work, and going where the money go. Not being able to be afraid to change. So if something changes, you change with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the program no more. Okay, that's where the money going. If Trump cut these programs, go where the programs that he keep going on. Like
Mm-hmm.
just being able to change and not be complacent and say, well, this is how it used to be. I've had several businesses. Obviously, this is my most rewarding opportunity, but this is my lifelong. I don't consider this. I mean, it is a business, but this is my lifelong giving back commitment that I made with, my personal values and my belief system. But I've had like several businesses, like actual hair stores and just different things that come in day to day. But every moment I feel like in life builds you up to the moment that you really need. And you don't be knowing like why this store or why this happened. Every moment builds you up to that grand moment that you have to graduate. So I just feel like
going through life, you're building up yourself, who you are, what you believe in, and you just gotta.
And you be thinking you don't need certain things, or you could avoid it, but maybe you could have. But it's something that you need to probably grow you or have you take something. It's just life is just. I don't think nobody really got it all the way figured out. We just do our best to navigate it. But I would say those lessons really build you to the person you need to be, and that's the biggest thing.
So can you talk about the importance of building partnerships and collaborating with other organizations?
Having a lot of integrity, always being someone that's trustworthy, always being someone that people can count on. Don't be the person where people have to ask you for things twice. Like your word has to be powerful. Like if I give you my word, this what we doing, this what we doing. Yeah. And that gives people a lot of ease, and that allows them to vouch for you. That allows them to want to work with you. That allows them to promote you or, put you in rooms that you wasn't even in. Like they'll mention your name, and like I say, your representation, what you're known for, and what you do is so important. And it's just different little things, and you practice that with everything in life. You practice that with showing up with places on time. You practice that with even a homework assignment. I could just rush through this, or every time you see my work, I'm going to do my best. And when you just start putting your best foot forward every day with everything you do in life is just going to reward you so favorably, because everything you do your best, and you don't rush anything. You know what I mean? Like you just execute, and when you get used to doing your best, it's going to push you in that gear that you need to do to always win.
When you see this name, you're going to get this quality of work, you really got to build up your reputation.
It's like a lawyer that's known for winning all their cases. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you see that name, he's going to give you a challenge. Yeah. You know that he's coming with all he got. And so 9 times out of 10, he's going to even scare off people that want to go against him because his name is so good. And I think everything got to be about your name, your last name, and obviously your vision and your purpose. But just when people see your name, I would love the opportunity to work with her. I would love the opportunity to work with him. So you got to just start making your name good, regardless, because that's going to do so much more for you than you think. And it'll pass on to your kids. Who your last name is going to preside you, and then you just start taking that serious.
So how do you maintain your organization's value as it grows and evolves and, like you said, changes and adapts? How do you keep those core values the same?
Integrity, sustainable solutions, innovation, being able to change with times, and just also being able to be humble. Keep your ear to these communities so you can know what's going on. So, you can see obviously what's going on, if it's in politics or if it's in the community or if it's in, statewide programs, but also staying connected to the inner city, staying connected to the people that have a lot to lose or don't have as much to lose no more because they feel like they lost everything, just really staying connected. So, obviously connecting with people with lived experiences, people that has made it, people that's successful, and also people that doesn't not even come from that, because you need that perspective as well.
So what advice would you give to someone thinking about starting their own nonprofit?
Make sure that's what you want to do. If it's what you want to do, please, it's so many opportunities. It's enough for everybody, more than everybody, if that's what you want to do. But just know it's not going to be easy. Don't think you're just going to get in here because I want to, make a quick buck, or I just want to, get money from people or get grants and all these things, because, that type of stuff can get you in trouble. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do. But it's one of those people that says, I'm putting this on my back. So if you're advocating for change, or because it's nonprofit sector, to me, it's also it's almost similar to, it's not politics, but it is. But you're the voice of people that can't speak for themselves, or you're the voice of people that are underserved, or you're the voice of people that looked over. Just like any of these campaigns that run, you are that person. So you have to be one of those people that enjoys being someone that's pushing the mission forward. So if you are that person, I say get into it. I love it. If you have any questions, go to emperoruniversity.org. We're here to help you. But it's great. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I've actually done a lot of things, right? I've done so many things, but this is the most rewarding thing, and I love it. And I just thank God every day just to be able to do what I love.
That's good. What's one lesson you've learned the hard way as a nonprofit leader?
And this doesn't have to do with just nonprofit. This is just, me. I always see so big. I be like, boom, I want the biggest thing right now. Don't delay instant gratification. It's okay to scale up. Start small. Scale up, scale up, scale up. Because I used to just want to go all the way out. And even if I can afford it or I got it, I'll spend everything on that vision right now. But now I'm still not going to say I'm as comfortable with it, but I learned how to take things a little bit smaller. Start with a small space. Upgrade as you go. Keep moving forward. As long as that place has room to grow, or that opportunity has room to grow, it's okay to start small versus so big. You can manage it from being smaller, growing, and that way you really building a solid foundation versus just huge office.
Yeah.
50 employees, brand new state. But the way I do it now, it allows me to really hand select everybody that's around me and just build.
Back to the 1 + 1 = 2.
1 + 1 = 2. Exactly. 2 + 2. You know what I mean? Yeah. 4. Then 4 + 4, 8. But just take it where you can really see and know your math. You be like 148 times 196. Let me get a calculator. Yep. Now you need all this extra stuff. But basically, you get what I'm trying to say? 2 to the 2. Or 4 to the highest power, or 2 to the highest power. You can kind of do that math a little bit different, easier. And then, like I said, what happens is your brain expands. So then when it does go to those numbers, you know the math because you know the process, and it's not nothing that's uncontrollable. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting into math here, a little science, a little spiritual, I'll be all over the place, but hopefully y'all got it.
How do you balance passion for the mission with the demands of running a professional organization?
Passion. I'm just passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about where I come from. I'm passionate about my last name. I'm passionate about breaking generational curses. I'm passionate about being the first in my family to do a lot of things. I wear that honor, proudly. And obviously it comes with stuff, but I'm passionate about, doing what God told me to do. So at the end of the day, I'm obedient, and that's just what I do. So
how do you balance sort of that passion with, because we were talking earlier about there is a business side to it. So how do you balance the passion of what you want to do with more of keeping it as a sustainable?
Staying on track. You could have so much passion and not no money coming in. Staying on track. So you need to be able to I am passionate about this, but also 1 + 1 = 2. And if I didn't find that other one, that financially you can kind of get in a bind. So I would just say I have to set certain time limits for certain things. Okay, this is for this, but this for-profit side is very important. Bring it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Half and half. Half is going to be on this towards this to bring some money in. Half is going to be on this. But I have to make sure, because I fall so in love with just grants and writing this process or doing these events. But I can't forget the for-profit side. And I think just keeping that in focus, because I know what it looks like to not be able to have profits coming in. You won't be able to pay overhead costs. It can get very costly, and it'll be very hard to catch up, which could make you go into bankrupt, or it'll just make you not be able to prosper, right? You have to put in just as much time in the for-profit side as the nonprofit side. But honestly, doing what you love go end up paying off for you, and it's going to end up working. But in the startup spaces, you're going to have to still know where your money coming in at. So just going to have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And I'm not going to say whatever, but some people start where they have an actual income job on the side. Some people start with a family loan or a small loan. Some people start with whatever they got. I think whatever opportunity God give you, it's enough. And just being able to really manage what you have to get more. And just also knowing sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. Sometimes you may not have everything you need to do to just go live it up, to be on vacation right now, but just really able to be like, oh, but when I get there, I know it's going to be great. So just being able to just know it's a time for everything and manage your time and your finances well. You always have more than enough. You wake up with more than enough you need to succeed. I am a firm believer in that. And you just have to be useful and wise in what you have. And once you start seeing you have everything you need to succeed in front of you, you will succeed. But if you wake up in lack, or if you wake up in fear, or I don't have this or I don't have that, you won't have it. But if you wake up and say, show me everything around me, sometimes it might just be old clothes. The owner of Nasty Girl, you read her book. She just started going to flea markets, or just like Salvation Army, or I think what's the other one, the Goodwill, and started pulling old clothes and then started selling them on eBay. And she's a multimillionaire now. Sometimes just really being able to say and see what I have around me. Okay, let's do a trick. We're going to get this question. So you're around you, and just say you need to find $300 for a project that you need to pay for within 2 days. And this is all you have in this room. What could you use?
Well, this would get the most money right off the bat.
I'll take this iPad and I'm going to go get some money. Okay. Would you go to one seller, or how would you do it? Because the first person you going to try to give you the lowest price, because they're going to see how thirsty you is.
I'd take it to a few different places, see what would give me the highest kind of offer, and I might consider selling it just like bidding war, like maybe on eBay.
Oh, that's good. Do a little bid to see who's gonna give me the highest one. That's good.
I could get like full, I guess, market price for like a brand new one. Probably not, but it would give better pricing than what the original store is going to give me.
Okay. Now, once this is gone, you don't have it no more.
Right.
So now you got to put the cost in your mind about giving this up because I need the money right now, or learning how to use this device to make more money. Because this device has internet, it has apps, it has features, it has video call features. So I can give this up.
Yeah.
But I can also create a plan to be able to create me money. So that's actually a great idea. I probably will give it up too. Or I would think, what could I do tomorrow to have everybody coming out here today to give me some money? So I might think of a digital product that I could sell 10, 15 times. I might learn marketing on there. I might start doing marketing. I might become an influencer on that iPad. I might just be like, and I might call the person that I have to give $300 to. Is this the final day? Can I push this back for 30 days or 60 days? I'm working on some things and I'll give you interest. I started learning how to negotiate with what's around me. I started now, because you said it was due, is it really due that day? And then what's the worst case scenario? And I might keep my iPad and I might say, I might even do a prayer. God, show me how much money I can make on this iPad. Show me everything I need to do with this iPad. Next thing you know, I would turn that iPad into a full-blown business. So it's also too, like, when you talk about advice, you got to think, not even think about the future. You have to be quick to think about solutions, not a one-time solution. But I want to, when I get out this problem, I want to be out this problem forever. Show me what I have in front of me that could be lucrative, because life will want to pressure you and say, sell that iPad right now and go get this money. And once that iPad is gone, you no longer have an iPad or a device. You know, maybe you have another device that have a computer or another one, but what if this is all you have, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. And you're going to end up needing another iPad because you bought it because you needed it for the first place and a reason. So I might keep my iPad. I might negotiate and say, I don't have $300 tomorrow. I might have 50, I might have 25, I might have whatever I have. But if you can wait another 30, 60 days, I'll give you 400. I'll give you, or I might do some type of negotiating if there's room for there. If I don't have it, I would just think about what could I sell on there really quickly, what type of program. Now you really don't need money to make money no more. You need skills.
Yeah.
You need digital skills. You need people skills. People that just go live and talk and they just be on TikTok, just doing anything. You really need skills. And I think understanding that change, that it don't take money to make money no more. It used to be like that, but now it really takes skill. So it's very important to understand what's going on in the world. And just know, people stream online, people play video games. And these people are like multi-millionaires now just off of. So you need your digital skills and you need to tap in. You need to make sure you're good with marketing, editing, social media. Don't overlook it. Don't overlook it, because if the whole world is going to, people are making money on social media, and all of the major places and these brick and mortars or some of these malls and these high-end stores are having to close because people are not coming in to shop physically no more. Everything is turning to a digital world. Study digital sales. I will also reach out to companies. Can I do your digital marketing for you? Do you need a social media manager? Like, I will keep my iPad because my iPad gonna be the way. But that was a great scenario because I would think about that too. But it's when things are happening, people are pressuring you in fear or timelines of you have to pay this, even if it's rent. Don't let that fear keep you from the mission, and just say, what can I do around me? Because if I just sell this iPad, you might need the same $300 in a couple of days or next month. And now I don't have a plan. I need to stay focused on a plan and create the plan. What is the plan that's making me not even have $300? And if I could focus on that, we changed the game. Now we good. And I never got to worry about you asking for $300 again, because now I ought to create a system.
Figure out the root of it so it doesn't keep reoccurring, and then you have to keep selling your iPad.
You have to keep, every time you get something, the first thing you're doing is looking to sell it and get out of it, and just let me look at what type of system I got going on, and let me see what's going on. All of these people are making money online right now. It's very important for me to do digital media. Even if you hate it, I don't care. Become the best at it, because if people are becoming millionaires off of it, they can do it. I can't too. I'm not selling my iPad. Even if I don't even like being on social media, I'm not selling my iPad. I'm going to negotiate. I'm going to ask them, when is the last deadline? I'm going to do something. I'm at least try to do everything I can. Now, if I still don't got it, after I did my absolute best, then all right, now you got me. But most of the time, they don't ever go that far.
Yeah.
Because remember, I told you hard work works. And I think the universe will favor you when they see you doing your best and just not letting that pressure of society or demands, because it can be real stressful. It can be stressful if you feel like you got to worry about money. But just being able to see past, like push that out your brain and just think for the future, you're going to be all right.
And speaking of the future, I know we just touched on it a little bit, but what's your vision for the future of nonprofit leadership?
I would like the Ryan Riley Foundation to be prominent in all 50 states. I would like, we actually own a medical and technology company. I would like that to be prosperous, probably a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Within the next 3 to 5 years, I would like for our name, the Ryan Riley Foundation, to be one of the, not even, it got to be a big name, but just when you see our name, we execute, we do what we say we're going to do, and just really be a game changer. That's my legacy. I would like to work with great people that understand that process, and I would like to continuously, for God to send me good people to help with that vision. But I just really want us to be game changers as far as in the healthcare field, far as in community, far as uplifting, lowering recidivism rates, breaking generational curses, mental health, those type of stigmas. I want people to kind of help change the thinking and in which ways I can, right? As far as that, the need, the want, all of that, all of those things that place you in life to get you out of place. I want people to enjoy their lives a little bit better. And in whatever way I can help people enjoy their lives a little bit better, whether it's enrichment, empowerment, giving resources, that's what I want us to be known for. And I just want us to be able to do that for the rest of our life. That's all I want to do until it's my time to go. I just want to be known for empowering and inspiring. And that's what I love to do. So, is that pretty good?
Yes.
We good?
Yeah.
All
Thank you
right.
for joining us.
Well, thank you so much.
Answering the question.
Thank you so much. And again, if you want to lock in emperoruniversity.org, we are always available for discovery calls. And follow us at Ryan Riley Foundation on Instagram or Facebook. And just keep in touch. Thank you so much for having me. Okay.
For more information on Miss Ryan and her passion, please head over to RyanRileyFoundation.org. If you're interested in the program mentioned in this video, head over to emperoruniversity.thinkific.com to check out all the features and start the process today.